Good afternoon. Welcome to the Senate Transportation Committee. We have 5 bills before us today, and I believe the House being still in session, that there are 3 bills that we can proceed with to get a head start on the day, and hoping that the House finishes up shortly. And so I have gotten volunteer presenters here for up here on the panel for these very uncontroversial bills that came out of the House undefeated. And I'd like to, oh, we got to take roll. Yeah, let's take the roll.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. The first bill I have prevailed upon Senator Cosgrove to explain. He is from that part of the world where this it's HB 88, deals with golf carts and utility vehicles. Town of Ivor authorized to allow operation on highways. Senator Cosgrove, could you
yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I think you just explained the bill. There's just a one-word change in this bill, and that would just be to add the town of Ivor, which is on Route 460, kind of halfway between Hampton Roads and Richmond. Basically, there are already towns of Claremont, Clifton, Dendron, Irvington, Jarrett, Saxis, Urbana, and Wachapreague who already have this ability. Ivor is a sleepy little town, and this would be just a benefit for the citizens there. So I would, with that explanation, I don't know if you want to hear if there's anybody who wants to speak to it.
Yeah, the only question I would have, are there any major highways going through?
There is just one. It is Route 460.
Right, 460.
That goes through, but it's like in Ivor's a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit there.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, speed trap, exactly.
Well, very good. Is there anyone here in the audience that would like to speak in favor of Ivor being added to the list? Is there anyone here willing to speak in opposition to these folks being able to use golf carts? No. Do we have anybody in the virtual world who would like to comment for or against the bill?
If you were in the Zoom room and would like to speak on this bill, please raise your hand electronically. There are no speakers, Mr. Chairman.
I'd move to report, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion and a second to report the bill. Would you open the roll, please?
Ayes 14, no 0.
Ayes 14, no 0. The bill reports. The next offering that we have another volunteer presenter, Section 1 bill, HB 553, involving commercial driver's licenses. And Senator Newman, would you present the bill?
Sure. This is House Bill 553 from Delegate O'Quinn. Its basic purpose is to expand the number of CDL drivers. It does so in a Section 1 bill by asking the Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of Labor, and Secretary of Public Safety to work together for 6 items. One is to identify regulations that are impediment to CDL and to the trucking industry. The other is to work with the Secretary of Labor to promote more CDL training. The third is to have the Department of Veterans Affairs promote CDLs with veterans. The fourth is the Department of Corrections will promote CDL training as people are transitioning. The fifth one is that public institutions and third parties are looking to increase the number of private and public institution training opportunities for CDLs. And the last, Mr. Chairman, is to encourage third-party testing for CDLs. All the agencies are to assist, and the bill expires on July 1st, 2023. And
I've seen some other bills this session trying to stimulate and get obstacles out of the way of individuals who could have access to these, high-paying jobs. So, any other questions from the committee? Senator Cosgrove.
Just one comment. I hope that the committee will look favorably on passing this bill. CDL drivers are not just truck drivers. They're bus drivers. They're 15-passenger van drivers. Any number of occupations require a CDL, but we all know the crush that we have for drivers, whether it's bus drivers, truck drivers, cab drivers, you name it. It's hard to get them right now, and I think this bill will go a long way in trying to ease that pain.
especially for school bus drivers. Thank you, Senator Cosgrove. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the bill?
Don't mess it up, you've got to vote. Mr. Chairman, I can't add anything to what's already been said except to say Dale Bennett, Virginia Trucking Association, great bill, appreciate your support.
Thank you, Dale.
Equally as short, Lisa Guthrie, Virginia Transit Association. We think it will help us with our bus operator shortage and ability to recruit new drivers. So
Thank you so much. Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wish to comment either for or against in the virtual world?
Move to report.
We have a motion and a second to report the bill. Would you open the roll, please?
Ayes 15, no zero.
Ayes 15, no zero. The bill reports. Our third proxy presenter will be Senator McClellan, who is going to introduce House Bill 641 involving transportation network companies and the authorization of the collection of cash fares. Senator McClellan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You've pretty much explained the bill. I'll give a little bit more detail, and we have someone who can answer any questions. This basically, the situation here is we have some TNC companies that, and there's one in my district, in Delegate Carr's district, that contracts with the Transit Authority and with Virginia Premier to provide rides to Medicaid patients. And yet many of those Medicaid patients who don't have access to an online platform, don't have a credit card, and can only pay with cash. And so what this bill will do is allow those passengers to pay with cash under very limited circumstances, which are outlined in lines 25 through 35 of the bill. And there's Hunter from USERV can answer any questions, but it's pretty simple.
Thank you so much, Senator McClellan. Hunter, would you? The one question I had is could you explain the verification as to how the money will be tracked so that we won't set up situations where people will be purloining money that is not theirs?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Hunter Jamerson representing USERV. Appreciate Senator McClellan stepping in and presenting this bill, which builds upon work that she did introducing the TNC licensing statute, as well as underlying work that Senator Newman did as well on TNCs. Mr. Chairman, to your question about the cash collection, the point of the bill is the American Disabilities Act requires that unbanked individuals be able to pay cash for their rides. As transit systems, both urban and rural, are relying upon TNCs now to provide rides like wheelchair-equipped rides, we find the TNC licensing statute in Virginia says TNCs shall not accept cash for any reason. This bill is a very surgical exemption to that cash collection and sets out through lines 25 through 36 the process by which that cash amount, which is typically a $2 copay, for example, is defined by the transit system, is communicated to the TNC, is communicated to the driver collects that specific amount, the driver issues a receipt, and the driver reports the collection of that specific amount to the TNC, which reconciles it with the transit system. So it's a closed circuit meant to limit the cash on hand and meant to track the cash carefully.
Thank you so much. Any other questions from the committee? Is there anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor of the bill? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone in the virtual world who would like to comment on the bill, either for or against?
If you were in the Zoom room and would like to speak on this bill, please raise your hand electronically. There are no speakers, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second to report. Hobie, could you open the roll? All right. The final two bills we have received no votes in the House of Delegates, and they are more significant changes in policy. And so what I would recommend we do here at this point is to stand at ease for a few minutes until we get a sense of how long the House is going to be out, and we will adjust accordingly as to whether we want to wait or whether we can whether we can set this for another date. So let's just suspend temporarily. Could I have a motion that we take these, the two bills by for the week? They're involved in the House is involved in doing the budget, won't be here quickly. These should go fairly quickly next week. So without further ado, we have a motion and a second. So let's, if no one objects, let's take those by for the week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Committee will rise.